We now describe the mechanics of increasing speed and the role of rails in movement throughout the game. Each player starts with an engine speed of 3, which is added to the roll of a die for movement. However, a player may wish to increase their engine speed throughout the course of the game. We consult the engine speed table, which tells us that if we discard 3 cards, we can increase our engine speed to 4, which means that for the rest of the game, we add 4 to the roll of our die. You may only do this once per turn, but on subsequent turns, you may discard another 3 cards to increase your speed to 5, and subsequently, you may discard 4 tickets to increase the speed of 6, and so forth. In this example, we possess 3 cards, and if we wish to increase our speed before our turn, we would discard the 3 cards, we would increase our engine speed to 4, and for the remainder of the game, when we roll, we add 4 to our turn. As a reminder, this is done before the turn. So in this example, I have spent all my tickets, and so for my turn, I will naturally want to replenish my hand by choosing as my turn action to take 2 cards from deck A and 1 from deck B. And that concludes my turn. Now that on subsequent turns, I now have an engine speed of 4, and this means that when I roll, if I roll a 5, then my total movement would be 5 plus 4, or 9. However, let's explain the role of rail passes. In this example, suppose I rest in Warsaw and I wish to move. Because I possess the Polish rail pass, this entitles me to plus 4 as long as my movement starts along the Polish rail. So in this example, I have rolled a 5, I add to the engine speed of 4 for 9. If I choose to go west, I would get plus 4 because my first step is along the Polish rail. So I have a total of 13, and I can arrive I can reach Luxembourg. It is important to note, however, that you only are entitled to the additional 4 pips if you travel along the Polish rail on the first space. So if I wanted to go east towards Kiev along the blue Ukrainian rail, I am not actually traveling along the Polish rail. I do not get the additional plus 4. One other interesting feature is that if you start the turn not on the Polish rail, but you encounter the Polish rail within the turn, you were entitled to plus 2, not plus 4, but you were still entitled to plus 2. In this example, we have entitled to 9, and if we start from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we have now encountered the Polish rail, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We get an extra 2 because we encountered our rail pass in the middle of the turn. On a given turn, you're only entitled to 1 plus 4 bonus or 1 plus 2 bonus. They do not accumulate regardless of how many rail passes you may actually encounter on the turn. So it's a single plus 4 or a single plus 2.